Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for those two legends of sport. It's Beefy and the Bull.
Hello everyone, this is Beefy and the Bull. I remember playing in the 72 grand final.
Oh, 72! Doesn't go down like a sack of spuds this week.
None of this soft stuff.
Oh, Beefy! Oh, you've come out all guns blazing, mate.
Beefy and the Bull. Beefy and the Bull. Beefy and the Bull. Beefy and the Bull. Beefy and the Bull.
Good morning everyone, welcome to 1013. This is a sports report and I've just taken a phone call, collect call, from the Southport Watch House. Who's on the line?
Beefy, it's the Bull.
My goodness.
How are you, brother? Mate,
What are you doing? You are supposed to be in here.
mate, I've only got one phone call, and as you know, I always say sport waits for nobody. Call was for you to be on this this wonderful show that we do. Mate, I ended up in here. I was clay pigeon shooting, and on the way home, I stopped off at the bank, and I didn't want to leave the gun in the car because they're quite expensive. So I brought it into the bank, and because it's we got the virus on, I put the old mask on, and the next thing I knew, there was people jumping on the ground, and I heard sirens, mate, and they threw me in the back of the demi van. I'm pretty scared.
Oh dear. Well, I'd imagine you got a limited phone call, so we better get on with it.
It's understanding, mate. Yeah, we better to get on with it. Less said about this, the better. You know, I want to keep my good name up.
Yes, and let's have a look at the NRL. The games just played over the weekend. What a bloodbath it was. There are so many injuries in that NRL over the weekend. I watched a game, and one of the Broncos fellas had more claret coming out of his forehead than a McWilliams 5-litre cask.
I'm Beefy. I tell you what, it was a bit of biff on it. It's great to see. Reminds me of the old days in 72.
Oh, 72, wasn't it a big year?
The ground was the colour of claret.
Yes, that it was. And only 3 of us left in that game.
Oh, yeah, you and I and Rabbi McGregor.
Yeah,
and, unfortunately, we lost him the following year.
That we did. That was a tragic accident. But I warned him about those health drinks and those health milkshakes.
Well, mate, especially when you're using the old 70s blender. If you're ever going to use one of those, folks, make sure you're not wearing a long sleeve shirt. God, it churned him up something chronic. He was never the same.
No, well, he
was dead. That's much why.
Pretty much why.
I'm getting emotional thinking about it. Let's stop talking about him because he was a ripper bloke.
He
lives long in those in our memories.
What happened in the AFL this week?
Well, mate, I tell you what, Beefy, it was a bit crazy. I'll look at that Sydney Swans versus Hawthorn. Now, Clarkson, the coach of Hawthorn, he's won plenty of flags down there. But, mate, I'll tell you what, they're starting to slip. And that's their 5th loss in a row. So will be interesting to see what they do this next week because I don't care how many flags you've won. A reputation will only go so far. You've got to keep winning, right? That's what it's all about, right?
Absolutely right. It's win or don't go.
Exactly. One or the other.
That's
exactly right. You've
got
to turn up, bloody win.
Which brings me to this week's NRL game, and the one I'm looking at is the Broncos versus the Sharks. Now, the Broncos have asked me for my opinion and support and give them a play out of what they should do and how they should do it. I wrote back to them and said, quite frankly, stay at home. It's probably the safest thing and the best thing you could do and probably more entertaining for the spectators. You know, stay at home and just watch the Sharks run around the field by himself. Yeah, I think it's about time some of these players and coaches realise that there may be something else they should go and do. I mean, other sporting people have moved on from their chosen career. I mean, Margaret Court moved on from tennis into a career of insulting homosexuals. Renee Gracie, the young V8 supercar driver, she's now making adult movies.
Yeah, it does a wonderful job at that, if I may add. Not that I have a subscription. I better move on from that one. But talking about people, you know, and even your mate in the Formula One. Remember, he was doing the Formula One, and then he went and did the aircraft stuff. Remember him? What was his name again?
Louder.
Yeah, I said about your mate who was in the Formula One, and then he went to do the aircraft stuff, the Rebel. Yeah, what was his name?
Louder.
For crying out loud, Beefy! I said your mate who did the Formula One, and now he's doing the...
Yes, Nicky Lauda.
Oh, that was his name.
That's
Oh,
right. Yeah, so what a champion of a fella. He actually lent me one of those Boeing 747s to go into that Red Bull aircraft racing. It was spectacular. It was the first and only time the 747 was used.
Mate, you did a great job. They said it'd never work, but
Yes,
you just went for it, mate.
Yes, unfortunately, though, on turn 4 there, they got a bit close to the crowd, and because that 747's wingspan is 50 times longer than the racing planes they use, well,
That wasn't
let's
your
say
fault, mate.
there was a lot less spectators.
Yeah, but it wasn't your fault, mate. I mean, that could have happened to anyone. I don't want you to feel down about that. I mean,
I don't.
You know, they knew the risks going in there.
That's
you
right.
know what I mean?
Like everyone says, motorsport is a very dangerous sport.
Oh, absolutely. And you don't go into spectating without expecting, 200 people to lose their lives. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's a full part of it, isn't it?
Well, it was that day. What's your AFL game this week coming up?
This one, I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to stick on this Hawks theme for the moment. And they're playing tonight, Beefy versus Carlton. And if Clarkson doesn't win this one, I tell you what, heads could roll. And the pressure's on the great man that he is. But Hawthorn versus Carlton tonight, 5:40, and we'll see what happens with that one. Keep an eye on that one, folks. Pick of the week. Now let's have a look at some bold predictions. What do you got for me, BC?
Hey, my bold prediction, this year's NRL Grand Final will be played between two teams as expected, but those two teams, due to the injury rate that is going on, will be a combination of all the teams together, because that's all the players they'll have left. They'll be lucky to scrape in two teams for the grand final. It'll be a combination of all different teams.
Everyone's a winner.
Supplying players for a grand final. I don't know what the teams will be called
all
yet.
the captains.
Oh, it's going to be nasty. Nasty.
Mate, I tell you what, that is definitely a bold prediction. Mate, I've got a bold prediction here as well. And my bold prediction isn't that bold, because I know what's going to happen. And that is, after the show today, you're going to come down to the old Southport Watch House and bail out your brother Bull.
Yes, that's a very, very bold prediction indeed. Indeed. I'll just have to make sure I got one of those passes to get over the border. You know how tough they are to get these days.
But you can print those out.
Yeah,
you won't leave me. I know you won't.
Just
I'm
gotta
actually
check
getting
the printer, see
they're
if
actually
it's
giving me the
working.
wind up here, Beefy.
Yeah.
Hang on, mate. Hang on. Fingerprints. I'll be there in a sec. Hey, Beefy, before I go, I need I need beef of the week, mate.
Yeah, my beef of the week continues on from last week, where Mickey Rourke wants to biff up Robert De Niro, and it's gone again. It's gone further. Now we have that Elon Musk wanting to fight Johnny Depp, but now Mickey Rourke has jumped in again, and he wants to fight Elon Musk on behalf of Johnny Depp. What a mob of... What is wrong with this lot? But it's all done on
De Niro's
Facebook.
been there as well. And I tell you what, mate, you think that De Niro's good at the ring? I'll show him a raging bull, mate. Get a Beefy. Did that?
Yeah, I saw what you did there. They all need to get off their little Twitter accounts and get in the ring. Stop with all the big talk. Get in. Get on with it. The only problem is all those people will not be able to fight under lights, because the lights are so hot, all their plastic surgery will just melt, and they'll just look like big puddles of plastic on the ground.
What's that, mate? What's that? Beefy, I'm getting the wind up here, mate.
Yeah,
they want to do fingerprints and stuff like that.
Amazing.
Hey, you're all good to come and bail us out, aren't you?
What's the time here? I'm just looking at the time. You're sounding a bit faded there. The phone's cracking up again.
What? Beefy?
Your phone,
I
I can hardly hear a word you say. I don't know what's
happening. But I can't stay here the
it's
weekend.
Very cracky. Bad connection.
Mate,
bad connection. That's it for Beefy and the Bull this week. We'll be back next week with more sports. Have a great week, everyone.
Beefy and the Bull, Beefy and the Bull.